Hey everybody, welcome. Today we're going to talk about who are we and why in God's name you would actually tune in and listen to us. I'm Mike. This is
Max.
And we talk about surfing. We try to talk about everything surfing, which
Today we'll be talking about ourselves.
one of my favorite topics.
It certainly is.
People say that. Don't say that in front of my family. So let's say who we are just a little bit. My surfing or my background goes back a long way. So I'm actually part of a surfing lineage that goes back. My dad started in the 40s. He would surf all over and then actually start Matador Surfboards in 1961, which is a whole story in itself, but we'll get into that later. He would then start selling boards here on Long Beach Island, which is kind of South Jersey, just above Atlantic City, below Seaside, and that's kind of where we're located. And he started here selling in 1962, and he opened the surf shop in Brighton Beach in 1964. We stayed there for quite a few years and eventually moved here to where we're doing this here in Brighton Beach in 1982. Through that time, a million things happen, and I'm born, my sister's born,
Your
and
poor parents.
my poor parents, and we're almost immediately put in. We come from a family that kind of put their kids immediately to work. So as soon as we could walk, we were in the shop, whether it just be hanging out, carrying stuff, but through sort of osmosis, I got to grow up around a lot of really cool people, see surfing, go through a lot of changes, and just be around it constantly, almost 24/7. I didn't really take over or start, running the shop until the mid-'80s. Now, Max here, or the reason that Max came on board is I met his dad, and they first came into the shop and really just had such a genuine interest in surfing and surf history. And I don't even know how old you were the first time you came.
I was probably around 14. We actually found the shop through the, at the time, was the New Jersey Surf Museum.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you'd gone to the surf museum and you had hunted us.
Yeah, because I had
down.
the Sidewinder, and then I saw you guys were recreating you guys did the squid as a tribute.
The squid, sure.
And on the board was a on loan by Brighton Beach Surf Shop sticker, which I thought was neat at the time. So we ended up coming over. You showed us around. You showed us the garage, and it seemed like you knew what you were talking about.
Maybe I do.
I hope so.
Okay. And I guess I found that you had such a genuine interest for a 14-year-old boy to be so interested in surfing, to have knowledge of the history. Your dad was a surfer and obviously loved it. Even your sister was surfing at the time.
Yeah, it's just right around when she started.
I found it like there was like a pool, like so many kids come in the shop, but you don't really think, I want this kid to work for me. After that first meeting, it was a thought. Then you would come back several times and finding out that you were starting to try to do some ding repair on your own. You were even like hustling a little on the side, IRS. And we wanted to, I wanted to like really bring you in and make you part of this family, because you could see that you had that genuine love of it.
Yeah, I still do.
Okay, good. that lasted. At least that's still going.
Unlike most relationships.
Ours is good.
Ours is good.
Ours is good. Purely platonic. We do a lot of different things here. So having a thought of the history, our hands are always in resin, and we're always either working, creating, shaping, fixing, restoring.
Yeah.
All those things, you really needed, kind of a broad knowledge of everything. Going back to the shop here, in the 80s, is where we started to bring Matador back. Matador was a company. My father had made thousands and thousands of boards in the early 60s. It thinned through the later 60s. 70s, not so much. He was just really running the shop, doing a board occasionally, and really just selling other people's boards. Foss Foam would occasionally come out with one of his models or use his label. But again, Matador's kind of non-existent in the 70s. In the 80s, as I was coming more into my own surfing, and there was like a large group of guys here, a lot of people just had an appreciation for the history. One of the first guys, we call him Longboard Larry, he wanted his next custom board to have a Matador logo. So we said, and it was made by Bill Menard out in San Diego. And when that first one came back in, everybody just started to go, well, then I want a Matador logo on my board. I want, this or that. And in that later 80s, we started to bring in more and more. Our focus has always been the East Coast. Max here surfs diligently all year round.
Up and down the coast. And we kind of focus on that. So we really wanted to bring shapers in and create production that was geared here on the East Coast. We wanted to change everything so that it was really based East Coast waves, East Coast shapes, even let's say East Coast colors, because it's little gray here a lot of the time. So I would even go as far as saying build quality. Like a lot of the stuff that again got me interested in Brighton Beach and Matador itself was I was 13 and you break a board and you don't got money, you have to learn to fix it. And then you learn a lot of boards just weren't built well. So when you start seeing boards that are built with higher density blanks, a little heavier glass, and that's an appeal to a lot of kids.
Well, absolutely. And I guess because Max now runs Wave Hog Surf Shop, which is in Ship Bottom, which is on the same island. When you're making a board and you have a board brand and you surf, well, you end up in the lineup with a lot of the guys that you sold the board to. And if the board sucks, they don't like you very much.
Or if you suck, they don't like you very much either.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Neither of us suck.
Or surf.
We always wanted, or we really always wanted to make a product that just kind of lasted, held up, and rode better. So we just kind of focused and took points of history, copied older boards, and really wanted to create a board brand that was just that little bit different. Little bit better.
I would say it's a different approach. Like, big thing that again got me interested was growing up. Everything was 5'10" by 18 3/4 by 2 1/4.
Yeah, it don't work for me.
No. And even the only time I'll ride a performance shape is it has to be at least head high plus a performance tri-fin. That's the only time it'll ever work for me, but it's got to have a little beef, a little chunk to float me by the time you throw a wetsuit on. What was nice about you guys was I was able to grab a fish that had a little chunkier rails, little flatter rocker, a little fuller nose for our waves. Most of the time it's right around chest high. Even though it's steep, it doesn't have that push, and you definitely need that drive. So a lot of boards weren't catering to our waves at the time.
I totally agree, and that was the focus. Make no mistake, Matador isn't just my opinion of what boards should be here. We've always taken like a broad approach and really talked to a lot of guys.
You mean the shotgun approach?
The shotgun, well, a little bit of sporadic,
a little pepper spray in there.
A little pepper spray. Not sure where this is headed, but we always talk to a lot of guys. We always got a lot of opinions and what people were after, And through the years and having all the vintage boards and having a rental fleet, you could really see what worked for people. So we tried to create shapes that would, just work for the masses and then work for some select people. What we're going to be talking about in the future episodes, or we're going to go through history. We're going to go through what boards we like. Again, it's an opinion. You can disagree with us. Please disagree with us. We can, we'd love to hear what you have to say. Surfing is very subjective. What works great for me doesn't work great for him. Or the next person may come in and say, I don't like the board, you like, or I prefer this.
It's like dating girls. There's only a couple you're going to like.
You're dating a lot of girls. You should probably like.
I try to. Pretend to.
Okay.
Make them feel good.
You might not want to talk about this. Anyway. What we're going to get into is we're going to get into history. We're going to get into board shapes. We're going to talk about boards, even like the ones behind us, in a future episode. But we want to bring just something a little bit different than a lot of the YouTube videos out there, and really just kind of bring our knowledge, if you even want to dare say that, or our opinion, and just kind of get it to the forefront and see what everybody thinks. And we're happy to explain whatever you like. Again, being in this business for 35 years, I definitely have an opinion about everything. So whether it's correct or not, I don't know. But you guys are entitled to my opinion. You got anything else you want to say?
Not too much.
Okay.
I think we kind of covered most of it.
My cheat sheet. Let's see what we got here. What didn't I, don't forget to like and subscribe, as I point to the man behind the mic.
Whose name is not Mike.
What else was I supposed to say? God
and country. You can always thank that. God bless you all.
Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, that's excellent.
All right.
Very sincere, too. Great job.
Take $1, send it to us in the mail. I'd like to eat at the end of the day.
Pizza money.
Yeah.
I was just getting ready to say pizza money. So, all right. Well, gentlemen, thank you. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this disembodied voice you're hearing, I am not Mike. The guy formerly known as John, now not Mike, your director and producer. You'll see me in the future. You'll regret it. Thank you all, and have a great, great day.